All right. We are going to move through 5 poses that are great for stress reduction, things that you can easily do at home and you don't have to do in a class. Just a nice way to get some tension out of your body and out of your day. So the first one we'll take is just downward facing dog. So starting from a tabletop position on all 4s, from here you tuck all 10 toes underneath, press the hips back toward the heels, and then lift up. Once you've lifted up, you start thinking about what's going on with the shoulders. So you take the shoulders, imagine moving the shoulder blades up towards your tailbone. Perfect. From here, now start thinking about taking your armpits closer to your thighs. That way your tailbone will naturally lift. Once you've made it into downward facing dog, if you have a block or a stack of blankets at home that you could use, a great way to reduce the stress here is to slide a block underneath your head and then let your forehead or the crown of your head just rest on your block. Close your eyes and breathe. You'll feel the heels softly begin to sink toward the mat. You can stay in downward facing dog for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, breathing deep and feeling your body open up. So that would be the first pose that I would recommend. You want to come down there. Perfect. After downward facing dog, if you want to just shift your weight out and have a seat, there you go. Just shifting your weight from one side to the next. Our next pose would be Paschimottanasana, which is just a nice, gentle forward fold. So I'm going to have her bring both of her legs out straight in front of her. There you go. Flexing the feet. Once again, if you wanted to, and you had a block at home, you could always do this up on a block as well, just to take a little pressure off of the backs of the legs and the glutes. Once you have your seated position, lift your arms up over your head and take a nice deep breath in here, lengthening all the way alongside of the torso. Inhale, and on your exhale, gently begin to fold forward. Take your hands alongside your body, keeping your chest lifted for as long as you can. There you go. Breathing deep, letting your hands rest anywhere on your legs or your feet that feels good. Close the eyes and breathe. Forward folds, great way to reduce stress. Fantastic pose to release any sort of built up energy in the body. The heart center is closed off in this pose, so you don't have to worry about bringing in any more energy. You can stay in Paschimottanasana for as long as it feels comfortable to you, and then when you're ready, you take a deep inhale, release your hands, and gently lift yourself up to a seated position. That's number 2. Number 3 is called Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. I'm going to have you scoot forward on your mat just a little bit, and then come to lie flat on your back. Put a bend in both of your knees once you make your way down. Here it is. You can also do this with a support. Once you've come to lie flat on your back, you just press the forearms and the palms down alongside your body and into the mat as hard as you can. This one, let's just do it with there you go. Keeping your hands alongside your body. If you want to sneak them in a little bit closer to the glutes, there it is. You take a deep breath in, press your heels and your toes into the mat as hard as you can, and gently lift your hips. And the hips just come off the mat as much as it feels good. Once you have your hips lifted, then without moving your neck, you can begin to shimmy your shoulders together a little bit. You'll get a little more lift. Here's where your block would come in. If you had one, you can sneak it in right at your low back, and then just let your hips come down to rest. You feel that out and see where it feels best for you, and then keep the eyes closed with the hips lifted here. Supported bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Stay as long as you like, and then gently, if you have a block, you can pull it out from underneath, take it over to the side, and then you let the hips come down nice and slow. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open. That will take you right into pose number 4. This is called reclined bound angle or Supta Baddha Konasana. It's a fantastic opener for the insides of the hips. The heart is open, but a very relaxed, stress-relieving pose. If you had blocks or blankets at home, you could also take those right here under the knee or the thigh for support, and then you can find a total relaxation in this pose. So a stack of blankets or blocks, wherever you have. Breathing deep. Staying in reclined bound angle for as long as you would like. After about a minute or two, you'll start to feel a pretty deep sensation in the hips. So you just listen to your body come in and out of the pose as you like. We'll move into our final pose, which is Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. This is one of the most fantastic poses for releasing stress. Probably, I would say, the king of the stress relievers. Gently help your knees back together when you're ready. Keep your feet flat on the floor for a second. Let your low back release. Then when you're ready, same as we did in bridge pose, you press the palms down into the mat as hard as you can, along with the forearms. Lift your feet up to a 90-degree angle, and then sneak your hands in underneath your glutes or close to them. Deep inhale, and on your exhale, you lift your hips up and your feet up toward the ceiling. Rolling as far as you can up onto the shoulders as it feels comfortable for you. This is perfect. You can also do this with a support against a wall. If you had a buddy or someone close to you, they could also stack something behind your back just for a little bit of support here. Whatever feels good for you. You can also hold a block against your back with your own hands if that feels nice. Taking the feet as close to the ceiling as you would like. If it feels better to keep them a little bit forward, go ahead and do so. Close your eyes and breathe. You'll begin to feel all of the circulation in the legs, the blood draining down into the heart center. Stay in shoulder stand for at least a minute, if not 2. You can stay longer than that if you like. Eventually you'll begin to feel some pins and needles in your feet, and then it's probably time to make your way out. When you are ready to make your way out of this pose, remove your support if you're using one. Bring your hands back flat on the floor, and then gently, one vertebra at a time, you softly roll it out. Beautiful. Once your back is flat on the floor, you can bring your legs all the way down, or you can keep a bend in the knees for a moment or two and relieve some low back stress. Those would be my top 5 stress relieving poses.